Oh, I think Jorby's muted. He had this beautiful speech. Jorby was coming in here and he was serenading everybody's ears, but unfortunately the man just didn't know how to unmute his mic. So instead, you get to hear my lazy, lousy little voice and start us off. Gen.G Mobile up against M80. They said on the desk, M80 has everything to lose, and I'd have to agree with them. I think this is going to be a very, very tough matchup as we do wait for Jorby to get himself situated. But me, I can't wait. I'm ready to get back into this game and start this series off. For me personally, I think that it'll be obviously very difficult for the most part. But when it comes down to it, M80 have that star power, have that potential to pull off some incredible upsets. And for me, I'm looking at Lion Blaze in particular. I think this man is the backbone for M80. Came up huge, but on the side of Gen.G, looking to do what K-Corp have done in the European Regional. Back-to-back wins this split. And now looking at potentially a 5 Grand Finals spree. We'll see if they can do it, or maybe M80 have other plans in store. Kinsei looking for something in the corner, can't find it. Immediately put on the defensive side is M80. Back down the other way, getting a clear, and a good one at that, but immediately stuffed away. Apparently, Jack, this is what they do so good, so well, Gen.G. Stuffing every 50-50, suffocating M80 in game one. Looks like they're picking off right where they left off, Jorby.
Yeah, they still haven't gotten a gold though, as Gen.G start as they always do. M80, they have certainly made a statement, I think, this time around. They've definitely come into the hardest opponent possible in Gen.G, but with M80's wins against FaZe in the first regional and now Furia in round 1 in this regional, you're starting to punch above your weight class consistently over the split. Lion Blaze definitely a big part of that as he gets the first dunk here, but not much yet here for M80. Percy and apparently Jack, who had jumped right before the touch even happened, keeping M80 honest.
And if you keep punching above your weight, I mean, it's inevitable that you will get stronger, Jorby. And I think M80, with more practice, with more experience against these top-tier teams, you'll see them break out even more and pull off some upsets. But this would be one for the books. The #1 team, North America, and you take them down. Historically, where Gen.G are so good in these playoffs. I mean, they went 15-3 in the playoff bracket for the Winter Open. And they're trying to add on top of that and create a better record in this tournament, and we'll see if that's possible.
It's Gen.G facing a little bit of pressure. Lion Blaze bumping Chronic farther out of the play. Kinsei didn't really have much to work with, but he was given the ball off of Jack's non-touch. And a big clear again here for Gen.G. I think M80 might have got something set up there. Chronic jumps on top of Percy. Kinsei coming in.
Oh.
As Jack waits for him, and a demo for Lion Blaze onto Chronic, and he gets to this touch as well. Kinsei no boost though. He misses the corner, and a hard pass to Percy, but he contacts, and nothing gonna happen here. Lion Blaze has to go back.
Oh, and that was a magnificent transition, though, from M80. You had Lion Blaze, who I talked about when we first got into this game, being the pillar for this team. He was the player on the defensive side, gets the demo, then immediately moves forward. No hesitation with these challenges. And for M80, that is one of the core, I'd say, elements that can bring down this Gen.G roster, is not hesitating, knowing when to challenge in that midfield space that Gen.G are dominant in. And here comes Lion Blaze again, looking for something in the midfield. Connects quickly, but 50-50'd out, and we're back down the other end. M80 struggling to hold on to a lot of pressure, but they're getting good looks at the net, Jorby. And another one for Gen.G, a dunk at that. That's going to be the first goal in favor of the boys on the orange side.
Good progression, started with a decent 50. Jack forced Kinsei to stay on the ground for a little longer than he would have liked to. That left a little gap for Nolly to put that one underneath. Gen.G just a little too much on that play in particular. But you know, if you ask Nolly Turtle about the secret sauce, he just says, well, just think. We're not just doing anything crazy.
Just think.
I mean, he's not the only one. Like, Jack says the same thing, right? They don't feel like they're doing anything that special, but it has turned into some special results for sure. But that first goal is wiped away with a beautiful go-ahead from Lion Blaze.
Just think indeed. I mean, look at this play. Drawn up the exact way you wanted it to. Kinsei off the ceiling. 2 players bit at that challenge, and then you beat out Abjack with a defensive shot quickly to get under it and quickly to respond is going to be M80.
I think M80 really looked good all game, getting of preventing Gen.G from just getting free touches onto the ball.
Yep.
That push that Gen.G had that gave him the goal, you know, that was a 3-man effort that took everybody getting involved to get by M80. Apparently Jack, the first catch here, we'll see if it can continue as he drops it down to the ground and cleared away again, but midfield still held on by Gen.G.
And one of my favorite parts about the pre-show was actually seeing Achieves and his beautiful face break down the Gen.G team as that shot does go deflected off of a Gen.G defender. But in Achieves' analysis, he was just showing how well Gen.G can continue movement with the ball down the field, and one play will never die. They can keep that ball on your side the entire time, which means M80, they can't have any hiccups in the rotation, any hiccups in the communication, and we have not seen them double commit. We're rarely seeing them within each other's space, and that's created a well-rounded defense. And look at these transitions with 5 seconds to go. They're already back on the other side and taking shots at the far side. Chronic keeping Gen.G alive. That would have, I think, gone in, but it hits the ground. To OT we go, Dorby.
That was, from my angle, it looked like it was going in. I needed to get an angle closer to the net because I was looking at third man from M80, but the clock was against you. Now midfield. Well, wait, it belongs to Percy. Kinsey rotating out, going for a boost steal. Lively shakes Nolly off in midfield. The 50 game, the last missing piece. Lion Blaze forced out to the side by apparently Jack. Percy up for it as well.
Oh,
Percy with control, off the board and taken away. Nolly as Jack waits. Kinsey slows it down. A slow pop from Nolly, and you see Percy, he's the whole way back.
Mechanics slightly off, but as I say that, Chronic is gonna go for this ridiculous double tap attempt, but doesn't have the boost to follow it up. Back to the middle, and that is the play. That's where Gen.G continued to keep their offense forward, but it was sniffed out, intercepted by M80 early on, but they still continue. This is what I'm talking about, Dorby. Gen.G, they don't let up. They continue to press to hammer your defense.
It's just too much. Lion Blaze tried to beat Chronic, but as soon as Chronic wins that 50, third man still coming back. Lion Blaze destroyed by Chronic on the backboard, and Gen.G, you might make it look interesting, but game one belongs to them.
It's just ridiculous from Gen.G. Like, they had a pass across in the midfield, Jorby, and I was feeling so happy for M80 that they were able to at least relieve some of that pressure. They intercepted the ball that was coming across, and I'm thinking, okay, this is the end. Finally, they can break out. But Gen.G respond to the interception, get it right back in their face, and within a matter of what, maybe 1 or 2 seconds, they're back with a shot on your own net.
But don't discount M80's performance in game one. They had good pushes, good transitions, solid defense for most of that game. I mean, for the first minute, it was Gen.G controlling the midfield, but M80 never put themselves out of position. You were saying it as well, Turtle. Mistake-free Rocket League for most of that game from M80. And both of those goals, Gen.G just made the better play.
100%. The structure is there, and you can see why M80 would be a great dark horse and a team that could be the underdog to pull off an upset against Gen.G. The organization, the structure is there. I think at this point, it's a matter of, do Gen.G make those same mistakes that might break their own armor? Do they come out on top of each other? Are they not hitting the mechanics? It doesn't seem to be the case. And now that means everything is relying on M80 to create plays, create and generate opportunities. It's a tough ask. I'm not sure if M80 have completely what it takes, but we're going to have to wait and find out in game two.
Yeah, I think for M80, it's not, you don't have to change too much. I really don't think there's anything you got to point at and be like, well, they were just punishing us with this every single time. I think that they gave Gen.G enough fits that you can rely on the talent that you have, especially Lion Blaze, who I think has had an incredible weekend so far. Like, it's probably the best I've seen Lion Blaze ever play. But he's been able to do that on so many teams that he's been on. But it almost feels like there's another level to that play. Can he bring that against Gen.G as we head to Forbidden Temple?
And they've made top 8 before. In the Winter Open, they were in the same spot, but they were up against, I believe it was Complexity. And they had a slow start. They dropped the first 3 games before getting their first game victory in game number 4. And at that point, they had to get a reverse sweep. So an early start is needed. And this time, you're not up against Complexity. You're up against the former champs, Gen.G. And then a double tap attempt from Noli is what you're faced with within the first 15 seconds, Jordan.
Percy attempted clear, and he wanted Noli, but Percy shot denied as and only sticks it. I mean, could keep this pressure up. They might generate something good, but Lion Blaze, a pre-jump
they're
that
all
goes
gone. They're all gone.
off tune. Abjack puts that one in. Not exactly how M80 want to do that.
Yeah, you've got Lion Blaze and Percy in the same exact spot. You're a little bit eager to get into game 2. You see an opportunity, but it might not have been the best decision. And of course, you're going to get punished by Gen.G down the other end. Not the best first goal, but you can battle back.
Start again here for Nolly, but Lion Blaze wasn't letting him have it. Aggressive first challenges bought M80 a couple of chances earlier. Kinsey in a tough spot with 15. But not a bad push from Kinsey. Gave Lion Blaze a chance. Jack flicks it over him. Now, all of Gen.G are here in this corner. Nolly picks up a demo on the backside. Jack tried to square it, but
a lot of space.
Much of it. Nolly, a little bit more. Back to Jack. Taken away by Kinsey. They're holding on for now, but M80 definitely need a lifeline. They're starting to run out of boost. Lion Blaze downfield, over Nolly's head, and finally they get a clear.
Yeah, but how quickly will it get turned around? Because Nolly's going to get a demo, open up space. Chronic didn't get the 50-50, but good sustained pressure. Dribbling out is Abjack, and we're down the other end. M80, you know, you can't just ask for a clear. You've got to sustain some amount of pressure, take some boost, we get a couple of demos, anything to open up space against this squad in orange. They've had a couple of good looks. Here comes Lion Blaze trying to develop something in the corner, but quickly turned around is Chronic. And there's not too much pressure being applied to Gen.G. I'd like to see what else M80 have in store for us.
Right now, Gen.G commanding pace of play in the midfield. Another high ball. Lion Blaze couldn't catch it. Gonna leave another free ball for Chronic. Pitches it high. Percy tries to keep it close. Nolly tracking him, gets the bump. Jack next up. Lion Blaze cuts him out. Kinsey up, but Chronic had him way beat. And that touch is going to be first to Jack. And that's the most frustrating thing about Gen.G is their touches seem to always be exactly where they need to go, whether it's behind them, whether it's off to the side. And their aerials, you're not really expecting it either. And it just puts it out away from the rotation. Their field awareness coming to play right now. Chronic got the boost steal. Now moving Jack, getting chipped as he comes forward, but Lion Blaze keeps him honest.
I mean, I completely agree with you, Jorby. It's that awareness of not only the opposition, but most importantly, where your teammates are. You always want to touch this ball into a place where your teammate can at least go for a challenge, go for a 50-50, and that's what Gen.G are so efficient at doing, keeping this ball as far away from the opposition as possible. But as soon as I say that, it's M80 with a bit of possession. Percy trying to hunt for something. He passed it across, but Lion Blaze couldn't get a piece of it. Either way, a good look from M80.
Yeah, I think Jack got a little piece of it. Whoever was on the backboard for that one. Nolly picked the ball up. 2 demos in the back, and Lion Blaze goes full send to the other half.
Here we go,
and now there's all the field left for Percy. Chronic comes back from the grave and takes the ball away from him. And then Jack steals the ball from Lion Blaze and pops it over Kinsey. Do the Gen.G have a play here? Here comes apparently Jack, but denied by Percy.
As much as Gen.G have looked impressive in this game, it's still only a 1-goal game. One mistake on the side of Gen.G could give M80 an opportunity, and this could be it. A 2v1. Kinsey was looking for a bump opportunity, didn't connect, and Lion Blaze had to force a 50-50 into the corner.
Another ball rips to the left side for M80. Nolly just gave it back up. Lion Blaze off target. Nolly dove, got the boost, got the touch, but Percy finds Kinsey underneath. Percy taking away. Chronic falls perfectly back into Nolly. Lion Blaze still in possession. That got away from him though. Got back to the 50. Is it enough for M80? Lion Blaze,
a fake.
Big shot saved by Chronic. Not over. Kinsey, next chance. Lion Blaze behind him. Pass it back to Percy, back to Kinsey. To Lion Blaze, denied by Nolly. Percy got back in rotation, but he couldn't get to the ball. Kinsey tries to slow Gen.G down, and while it looked good, they didn't get a goal, and there's not a lot of time left.
It certainly did look good. But what was even better was the Gen.G defensive reads. They understood where M80 wanted to flow with this ball, where they were trying to place it, how they were passing to the midfield. It was too predictable, and because of it, they didn't get a solid look at the net. But they can build on that, and they're going to have to do it within 10 seconds. This is it. Trying to get game 2 at least back to level, even territory. You've got to get 1 goal. The ball is up in the air. It will hit the ground, and Gen.G take it.
Just too much coverage by Gen.G graffiti was chronic on that one stage.
Yeah.
I mean, M80 feels like they have the building blocks. They got all the materials on the build, right? But they're missing the blueprint, Turtle. I don't think they know how to build this house. Because they're close, right? The defense, it's figured out, right? But where's the offense? They had 3 shots on net that whole game. M80 called timeout.
Well, and they're going to have to figure it out with this timeout, extra 60 seconds. And, it doesn't feel aimless. Like, whenever you say they don't have the blueprint, what do you mean? Are you saying it's a bit aimless? Like, they've got all
they have the materials, right? They get the 50, like, the passing ideas are there, but, like, Gen.G are blocking absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So like, there's no like, where's the switch up, right? Where's the physical play? We saw the fake from Lion Blaze. That's where I want to see M80 start to actually build on the foundation that they have.
It's about throwing in the spice now. I mean, you've got regular plain chicken fingers. You need some sauce, okay? And I think for M80,
pepper, get some cilantro. You know, you need to bring out the freshness.
Come on, man, get the sauce out here. And that is probably one of the most difficult things to do. But you're in such a good spot if you're M80 because the foundation, the structure is there. We're not seeing blatant gaps in the defensive side where there's a free net. Maybe at the beginning of that game we did see one defensive blunder, but that was about it for M80. And even after game 1, you're still convinced that they have what it takes to pull off an upset. And now they have to add in the creativity, add in the spice. Maybe you go in for a fake. It's too predictable. What is going to throw Gen.G off their game? What's going to confuse them? Something unpredictable has to be thrown at their defense because they are not letting up.
And Gen.G, I mean, they kind of felt it. They've been talking about it before. They don't feel like they are invincible. And that might be their greatest weapon, is not feeling that invincibility, feeling like you're only one step away from losing the sauce that Gen.G certainly have. But for M80, you need to find a way to trip this rotation up. Because if Chronic and Nolly are pre-jumping your reads, you're not doing enough. To trip them up. You're not doing enough to keep Gen.G honest about your push. So like I was saying, and like you were saying, can they build on this? Can they start to develop that blueprint in this game? There have been moments where we've seen it in the first 2 games. It's been close. Now we'll see if M80 can finally get back in this game.
And Gen.G just seems so unshakable. And I'm even more convinced that they are unshakable as Kinsey gets an unbelievable save. Quick to react and quick to get the touch, keeping that ball out of his own net, Like I was saying, I think a big part of Gen.G is obviously that mental game. If you listen to their comms videos, you know that Abject, he's always there to lead the way, to calm everybody down. And one thing they emphasize the most in their comms is playing for each other. Nobody's trying to take the game in their own control. Nobody's trying to be selfish with their touches, and that's why they look like such a well-efficient and well-rounded unit. Look at Lion Blaze, the goalkeeping unit that he is.
This is what I'm talking about with Lion Blaze, Turtle. He's got 3 players barreling down on him. Nolly's going for the bump. Dodge that. Chronic going for the pass. Oh, I see Jack. Let me just start boosting forward and get the save. That was excellent stones. I don't even think that makes sense. That was just stones from Lion Blaze on the goal line to get the stop. And he gets a nice little pincher, but Chronic too fast. Forces Kinsey up, and he makes the grab and puts Nolly back in the air. Nolly can't go for it, and ball's given right back to him. Bit of confusion, but really Chronic just trying to size up that ball.
There's a lot of respect, too, given from Percy in that corner. Didn't want to go for a challenge early. But here we go, into the midfield. Nolly, quick turnaround. That's one thing that I feel like I keep saying when it comes to this possession from M80, it's quickly turned around. Like, we're back down the other end immediately. The ball passes the halfway line, and Gen.G already have a plan to execute to get this ball down the other side off the backboard. Abject sets up Chronic, who sets up himself for a flip reset, but snipped out by Percy. And finally, some space for M80 to work with. And as I say that, quickly turn around. You think you got space, but it's 150-50, and it's into your top corner.
Oh, poor Percy trying to rotate back. He even got a full tank of boost to complement, and then he got smoked. Not just by the screen, but also by the ball.
Yeah.
And poor Percy, nothing M80 could do.
Just a gruesome 50-50. There's 2 players looking for more. And, we're getting some highlights from Lion Blaze on the defense. Who's going to step up and take charge on the offense, Jorby?
High ball for Percy. He gets in the way of the touch. Kinsey couldn't keep that ball close enough. Percy, nothing there working for him on the 50s. Here's a demo on apparently Jack. Here's another demo on the Chronic, but Nolly's behind the ball. Lion Blaze non-touch. Maybe that works out as Percy keeps it close. Back to Kinsey, only 50 as he left. And Chronic just a little too speedy, but this might be the push. And as I say that, apparently Jack wins a massive challenge, forcing them back to the blue.
I mean, it's a visual trap. It looks like M80 are getting their ducks in order in a row, and just right when they have possession, one poor 50-50, one switch up from Gen.G. That's all it takes, but this is a good pass across. The best look we've seen. Can Kinsey finish it off? Chronic is there, and it's off the post. 3 consecutive shots, 3 misses, couple of saves, and Gen.G stay alive.
Oh, I'm sure M80 would like another crack at that one. Unfortunately for them, Chronic had something to say, and he included the 4th man in that conversation. Jack just misses it from Chronic. Gen.G, quick pass from Percy, cut off. Nolly doesn't get the reset, but doesn't matter. Jack's right there to back him up.
Still within 1, Jorby. M80 have all that it takes. Who can break this curse and put them on the board?
They're all pulling back right now, looking for boost. They've all got it. But Chronic beats the 1st, beats the 2nd. Does he got the 3rd? No, couldn't fall back on it. Lion Blaze just gets the clear, but it means more defense for M80. Kinsey wins a good challenge, but there's no follow-up. And here's Nolly, midair, misses! Chronic next up for Gen.G. Do they get their 2nd? But Lion Blaze waited, didn't need the touch. Quick pass cut off by Jack again in midfield.
The structure is slowly starting to break down. I think, you know, M80, they've got to put a Band-Aid over their defense right now because they seem to be bleeding. I've seen a couple of players in the same spot, double committing, close to stepping over each other in rotation. And rarely do I see a player downfield from M80 as Percy put the shot on target, saved again by Gen.G, and another one from Percy thrown at the net. This orange half, but it's simply not enough. You need something more.
M80 pressing, they're getting a little closer. Lion Blaze has a lot here, off the ceiling. Pass, but it's awkward to Percy. He's got to back up. Freebie to Kinsey.
Go double tap.
1, Jack got that read. And Gen.G, another clear. No more time for M80. Do they get a chance here? Percy denied by Chronic. Kinsey has to rotate back, and Nolly gonna kill all this time. Keeps it close. A bouncer for Kinsey, but he's out of boost, out of time. All Gen.G gotta do is put this one on the ground. Decent pop, but Jack's first to the ball. And that seems to be the problem, doesn't it, Turtle? They're never first. Gen.G putting M80 last right now. 1 to go to head to the semifinal.
Never first to the ball, never first to win a challenge. And it's rare moments where we get to see M80 with a good quality look at the net. We've seen some shots, we've seen some passes across, but nothing too special that really caught a lot of our eyes. Meanwhile, for Gen.G, all they needed to get was just 1 goal. And even with a 1-goal game, it still felt so confident, so dominant from these 3 boys as they look to get a full-on sweep against M80.
I almost forgot about the only goal that went in, which was that pinch demo goal that went in that Percy couldn't get back to. This very well may have gone into a 0-0 overtime just with how M80 were playing defense. But I mean, Gen.G's defense continues to just be unbeatable. No one can really get by this team consistently. They need to find a way to get their follow-up guy to beat Gen.G's follow-up guy. But Gen.G, to me, 2nd man is the hardest role to excel at in Rocket League. It's the easiest role, it's the least punishing role because you always have 3rd man there to back you up, right? But to be and to excel at that 2nd man role, that will elevate your team to the next level. And I think Gen.G, I think all 3 of them excel in that position, and they make life so difficult in making like consistent pushes from the other team.
Right.
I wish they could, but they can't. Gen.G are just too good. Nolly, another light little pass back over to Chronic. And here's Gen.G working with their food at the start of game 4.
Oh, man.
Squares it
Nolly's
up.
there.
Nolly passed to Chronic underneath. Chronic's eating real good, ain't he?
It's so selfless, Jorby. Look at Nolly in the left side. You think he's going to take a shot, but he knows the pass is so much more effective. All three players are there. All three players push forward. And of course, Gen.G are going to strike first in a series that has so much on the line. I want to remind everybody, if Gen.G win this series, they will clinch the major, and we will see them in San Diego. So, of course, they know what's on the line. They want to take this dub, and they're looking to continue their continuous runs to the grand finals.
They really just haven't shown much weakness in bracket play this split, have they? Nolly in front of that one again. That type of selfless play. Chronic might get the dunk, and had the net been just a tad wider, you just may have, but that net hasn't moved for 7 years. Percy, no touch for him, and Lionblaze doing what he can, but again, the clear just goes right back into Gen.G. They're happy to play that game. Until the follow-up man for M80 starts predicting the future a little bit, they may never find a way through Gen.G.
Yeah.
Lionblaze will try again, does get the dunk, but it's high and in space to Nolly.
I definitely think these challenges might work out in favor of M80 if they try and prioritize it a little bit more. There's one thing that Gen.G can't predict completely. It's going to be these awkward 50-50s. Maybe try and hit the brakes a bit instead of going for this super speedy approach. You see Lionblaze keeping the ball down, and Kinsei, that's what I'm talking about. Keeping the ball low, keeping it grounded. I think the more you take it into the air, the less of a chance you have at getting a quality opportunity. Lionblaze takes the boost, looks for a demo. Two players bite. And a good recovery from Nolly does save his team, and so does Abjack with that save.
Doesn't matter. Even if they cause the mistake, every other decision goes the right way, and Jack picks up the save at the end. But M80 retained possession. Off the bar. Still open for Kinsei. And finally, M80 get on the board.
And a mistake comes out on the side of Gen.G. Nolly doesn't read that crossbar bounce perfectly and doesn't even find a touch. And it's a free one for Kinsei. Gen.G in the previous game, they were only able to score 1 goal. M80 have finally matched that. Maybe this sends us to OT.
Or watch out, because here comes Chronic. And he might have killed his play with 2 touches. Good 50 from Kinsei. And they're giving a follow-up. Lionblaze right into Nolly.
It's right to Percy, though.
But, no, wait, that's going to work out. Percy finds his way through the seam, and now they have a lead.
I think I understood what Nolly was going for here, trying to give a pass back to Chronic, or at least set up a better 50-50, but it wasn't far enough back. And as a result, you're giving an advantage to M80 to get to the ball first, have another great look on the net, and just like that, M80 have responded well.
Jack, high touch. Lionblaze was quick to it, but look at Nolly, he's already in the air. Left before Lionblaze's touch. Confident he could just get there in time. But now Chronic and Jack don't connect. There have been more passes that Gen.G haven't connected on, but Chronic connects with the ceiling, and he connects with the net while he connects with his fans.
Oh, my
goodness, this man is a maniac.
He just scooped it off of Lionblaze's car. He said, "Thank you very much. I appreciate you setting me up, my guy. I'm going to go to the ceiling as well and smack this in your own net, tie things up." What a play, and what a way to have your team's back. After making a couple of mistakes on defense, he just takes it himself solo.
Amazing that Gen.G just threw their hand into the scrap pile of North America, pulled out Chronic out of the pile.
Oh,
then they win a major.
Nolly.
Then they absolutely rinse everybody in winter. And he's up in the air again, but it leaves a free ball for apparently Jack. And M80 are forced to respond in the tie game. Gen.G never sleep. Another beautiful pass. Easy tip in for apparently Jack.
And you can see Nolly is trying to atone for his sins on the defensive side by giving Abjack one of the freest nets he'll ever get in the corner around one defender, and then pops it out for Abjack. Wide, clear look at the net. Get that goal lead back. And with 1:30 left, we know that Gen.G, they can hold on and stall out as much time as they want, but this is the one game where they've shown a couple of signs of weaknesses on defense, so you can't disrespect M80 completely.
We'll push right here with the demo, Percy.
Oh, that's it!
Lionblaze flexes, and we got a tie game.
Lionblaze, how did he squeeze this through? You got Percy coming off the ceiling, a demo as well on the defensive side, and Lionblaze, the 50-50 that everybody needed him to hit on his team. finally comes through. They win the challenge. We're back to being tied up.
Uh-oh, but the kickoff goes Gen.G's way, leaving Percy by himself. Kinsey downfield for Lion Blaze. Lion Blaze looking for the net. Chronic finds Nolly and Gen.G. Just keep the ball close. I mean, Nolly won't give you, like, you're looking at Lion Blaze's perspective there, and he's just waiting like, okay, when can I come in? But, like, the ball just never leaves his nose. Kinsey goes for the backside shot. Gen.G run into each other on the attempted save, but it's then back downfield. And M80 got to try again.
A couple of uncontested shots, too, for M80. In every other game, it felt like every shot had one player from Gen.G just right in front of the ball. And I think these demos have proven to be so effective, even if you're not demoing the goalkeeper that's going to get the save. You're at least opening up space, and here's space for Abjag, but the fourth man comes through.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, man.
He may let that one shake him.
Never mind.
He shook it right off. Never mind. Lion Blaze left in a tough spot here as Kinsey's 50 goes out. Percy goes for the midfield boost, and Lion Blaze is just left wondering how he's supposed to defend that with 20 minus.
I mean, it's a lot to ask for him, but you have to keep it close. You have to force a better 50-50. Giving away possession immediately, it's just not going to work out because it'll get dished back into the middle. 15 seconds to go. Gen.G looking for the semifinals, and so are M80. They're not going down without a fight.
Lion Blaze, big demo. Percy sets it up.
Lion Blaze.
Here he comes. Kinsey got the demo, and Lion Blaze scores 4-4 with 4 seconds.
It's not over yet. Another demo from Kinsey. Percy doing a little bit of magic in the corner. And you've got Lion Blaze to send it home. 4 seconds left. 4 goals apiece. All tied up. Do we even get overtime? This has been one heck of a game.
Well, Nolly just got the ball. And a light touch. Lion Blaze ain't playing that. He's just LT.
All right. They want to repeat at least that scoreline against Complexity. They took 1 game off of them after Complexity won 3. And M80 know they can at least do that here against Gen.G. It's going to be a long road ahead of them to get the series winner reverse sweep, but it all starts with this OT.
Chronic gets the touch, though. And if anyone is going to end their hearts, it's these two. Forces a double commit. 2 in the air.
Hey.
Nolly's shot taken away. And Lion Blaze expending a lot of boost just to position here. Now Kinsey, only 1. He gets a touch, but it's to nobody for M80. Nolly gets a perfect bounce. Pass to Chronic, who's jumped it. And Lion Blaze there to catch it, but M80, a stressful defensive stand here. Lion Blaze scoops it over 1. Nolly wants to pass to Chronic, but he's cut off by Lion Blaze, who cuts off 2 challenges. Jack's sitting back, a pop-up. Kinsey, 36. Got the bump, but nobody around again. And Chronic has to play it back over to Nolly. Some close chances here for M80.
And I do like that from Kinsey, who has been the lead blocker. And here he is again. Kinsey demoing him, taking him out. And then Lion Blaze sends it back to the bottom of the net. That is how you get it done. OT win for M80.
If you can't beat them, delete them. Percy sweeps them out. And Lion Blaze throws it right in the net. M80 ain't done. What an OT. What several comebacks there.
No, sir, they're not done. Bro, their backs were against the wall what felt like 3, maybe 4 times, and they had an answer every single time. Shout out to Kinsey. This man is coming out of this game with bruises, with scratches. He's been getting roughed up. He's been trying to get demos. But my goodness, is it working? And that is the spice. That's the creativity we needed. He's building on their foundation. Huge credit goes out to Kinsey.
How about Lion Blaze, though? Almost dropped 1,000 that game. 3 goals on 6 shots and 4 saves with an assist.
Oh, man.
This man was all over the place.
I hope we get to see it. Yeah, we get to see it again. Look at this squeeze into the back of the net. You barely have an angle. You have to get right above the ball there. And I've seen so many instances where it's that exact same situation. A player tries to get the double tap, but instead he just pinches it all the way out to a different continent in the corner. So huge credit, of course, to Kinsey, but you're right. Lion Blaze, the MVP, undisputed. And here we go on to Wasteland to witness M80 try at this reverse sweep.
What a start. That would have been a game 5, and apparently Jack gets over them. M80, we've talked about how their defense has kept them in this series.
Yeah.
And has kept them in each game. And that makes you wonder about this next game. Is that going to keep happening? Are M80 going to keep this bill close? Percy puts it over to the side. Almost feels like you have to play at 100% efficiency against this Gen.G team. But look at this pinch from Lion Blaze. Forces Jack back. Nolly needs to buy time. And play's going to die here for M80. Jack finds the read. Lion Blaze tracks him, and Lion Blaze has been downloading the data all series, and he's been getting better with every game. Another shot denied by Percy.
And he's downloading the data with patience, Jorby. You saw him on the backboard waiting to see the angle that Abjack was going to approach the ball with, and because of that patience, the composure, not biting too early, he was able to come out with the save. This is an awkward touch from Lion Blaze as Chronic sends it off the backboard. Nolly looks for a shot on target, but another last-second heroic from Kinsey.
That's a jump and pray moment for Kinsey as well. You're not in a position where you can really actually contest that ball. You're just hoping Jack hits it into you. Or excuse me, Nolly hits it into you. Here's another pass, and a goal! M80 strike first!
Striking first, and it's Percy behind the ball. He takes the corner as Kinsey dishes it out. Chronic is looking for something else, maybe a pre-jump, dodging demos, looking left and right. You have to be so aware. And the first goal in favor of M80. And my goodness, they've been building momentum, Jorby. This is looking kind of scary.
Oh, Nolly shot a little high. He caught Kinsey flat-footed. Ooh, and everybody jumps on enemy's side. Here's a quick pass, but then Jack is put off target. And all of a sudden, the accuracy is starting to fall a little flat for Gen.G, but Jack denied again. Lion Blaze was there. Chronic trying to delay the transition. Kinsey comes anyway. Percy will hurry up the touch. Got the 50. He didn't have any boost on the play. Gen.G get out.
And it does look like M80 are prioritizing these 50-50s, looking for demos, just anything to shake Gen.G. It's not with sheer speed. It's actually with the unpredictable aspect of this game, like these 50-50s, awkward touches, and of course the demos. Kinsey, he wants to get a piece of the air dribbler there, but doesn't find it. Regardless, it's still going to go in favor of Percy, and Lion Blaze, good speed, and it's over all of the defenders. The second goal now for M80.
You said it, great speed. Apparently Jack tracking Percy here. Percy recognizing it and forcing Jack to have to come out to challenge that ball rather than roll it across the ramp, hit it hard against the backboard, and you give Lion Blaze at least a chance at it. Lion Blaze, like you said, just a faster player that time, and a 2-goal lead for M80.
It's developing rather well for M80. Another solo play. This is Kinsey surrounded by every single member from Gen.G in the corner. What happened here?
Jack is sitting on the wall. He's expecting Nolly. I think you see him stutter step a little bit because he sees Nolly cut in, and he thinks maybe Nolly will get a grab on that, then Jack can turn up, follow it up. Chronic's also in the area, so I think Jack just didn't want to put himself out of the play, but Nolly couldn't get there fast enough. It happened so quickly. Kinsey gets M80 a goal. This is a comfortable lead now, right? I mean, again, it's been defensive.
Oh my, make it forward.
It's not defensive anymore. The goals just keep going in.
It's not defensive. You're right. It's wide open. Kinsey got that 50-50, and Lion Blaze bulldozes his way through, paves a path for the ball. 4-0. This game, this series has just completely taken a U-turn.
I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing for M80, and I know what you're thinking. How can
you're saying a 4-0 is a bad thing?
Well, like, think about this. You got 2 minutes left in this game, right? And if your defense holds, you know, you could get caught sleeping a little bit because that's 5-0 now, bro. When it's 5-0, I don't even want to. What is there to talk about? What is there to think about when you're even in the game? You're gonna start sleeping and make things go bad, right?
You got to be a pretty deep sleeper to throw a 5-game lead. I'm not gonna lie.
No. I'm saying
2
the
minutes
next
and 8
game.
seconds. Oh, the next game.
No, I'm saying the next game.
Okay. I thought you were talking about this game. I'm like, bro, are you out of your mind right now?
No,
There's no way.
No. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see it. I'd like to.
How long have we known each other?
3 days.
It's been a little longer, but
no.
The goal setting up the Brazil. There's a minute 54 left, and they get their first goal.
I guess we are just setting up the Brazil for what seems to be a wash game, and we've seen crazier things happen. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, and this is a situation where M80 just need to hold on and waste some time. I mean, 4-goal lead. Now, as we look to go into the next game, are you implying that M80 have just used up like all their juice, all their goals here?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you score so many goals with that amount of time left, you know, you don't start playing with that prime, you don't start playing with that prime focus that you have when the game is really tight, right? And I'm just saying, like, it's totally nothing. Like, the thing I'm talking about is like such a minor thing, and probably not even a thing. But like maybe they go into the next game, kind of slackadaisical a little bit, you know? It's not a word, but it is now. And it's just something. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about when it's 5-1.
I agree with you. I feel like it's definitely possible to get too comfortable in this situation where you've got a hefty lead. But that just comes down to the ability to refocus in between games. And Gen.G, I feel like they needed to score, at least need to score right here as it immediately turned around. Good 50-50s. And this has been much, much better from M80. I mean, we have to compliment their offense, but the defense from Gen.G has been slacking. I'm not going to lie. Like, these don't look like typical goals that would have gone in game 1 or 2.
Well, Jack had no boost. He had 6 boosts. So on that play, he's thinking, I got to cut in and just try to get into the 50, but there's only so much speed he could generate sitting from that spot, and they're not winning that follow-up game that they were like so consistent on earlier in the series, part of why M80 got no offense. But I mean, you're right, it has completely fallen apart this time, and Gen.G's errors and maybe slight misreads of the play in front of them could have contributed to a lot of those early goals. Jack's still pre-jumping though. He's just happy to be there while Nolly scores. And a second one for Gen.G.
At this point, all the players, Gen.G included, are definitely focused on just calibrating their minds, resetting to go into the next one. Regardless of the scoreline, it doesn't matter. You move on, you pivot, and it's up to Gen.G to make some adjustments on their defensive side. The offense hasn't looked too different, but when it comes down to those rotations on defense, and I think a big part of it has stemmed from Kinsey and his aggression, that they're forced to use more brain power, Jorby, on the side of Gen.G to look around on the field, wait for these demos, or see where the demos are going to come out, and I think that has them much more stressed out than they typically would be, or at least were in the first few games.
Another thing for Gen.G as well, I mean, the pre-jump from Jack talking about, their mentality heading into the next game, I think it's just fine. Gen.G, see what happens after this, because we are headed to a game 6.
Here we go.
That's a big win for M80. Lion Blaze sitting at the top, MVP again. Percy is coming alive now, and M80 gets scarier down the line,
Getting scarier down the line, but the closer we get to Champions Field, the harder it's going to be to close out a series. So it's certainly not smooth sailing from here, and we know Gen.G well, their mentality, the leader Abject, his ability to calm everybody down. Again, I'll reference those comms in the video where you can just hear them resetting, putting the controller down, recalibrating their minds and their perspectives on this matchup. We are going to see a different roster. 2 more games to go for M80 to get this reverse sweep in a best of 7. Question is, do Gen.G react? How do they change up their style, and can they get back to that peak defense that we saw in the first few games?
The story heading into today was, talking to the other casters in the green room, we're all like, a lot of these probably 4-1, 4-0, like Complexity, Gen.G. We don't expect these teams to struggle against Koi.
Jorby, I think maybe, were you one of those guys?
Wait, was I? First of all, that was everybody. Don't you dare put that on me, okay? I'm just saying. Daz said in the first match, maybe this is a chance for the NA depth to show itself.
Okay.
I think no one gave Koi a game, and they took 2.
I mean, you were drinking a little bit of haterade.
Percy almost found the net. Lion Blaze tries to flip back, hoping he can find Percy, but Percy got bumped out by Chronic on the play. Percy comes back anyway and makes it awkward for Chronic. Right on top of him, denied by Abject, but a free ball for Lion Blaze, denied by Nolly. No boost for Percy, he's got to wait. And Nolly might have a chance to break out, but no, Kinsey takes the ball away. Underneath for the reset, Percy swings back around and denied by Chronic. Gen.G, a scary situation averted.
And to be honest, that was a painful sequence of events for M80. That had a fantastic look at the net. Abject was too slow to get up, but it's not going to matter. They're going to get one back. Percy through the corner, weaving around the defense. That's just lovely control from that first touch. It was placed perfectly, slotted right between those 2 defenders.
Chronic jumped at that play early, thinking it was going to go down or the ball was going to drop straight down, and he jumps underneath it, and at the end of it, it almost looked a little silly where he jumped nowhere near the play, leaving Abject stranded. Now M80 with the lead, but Chronic with the ball. Jack underneath, quick pass, shot denied. Lion Blaze had it lined up. And here they come again, Kidsday. A demo for the transition. Percy, another demo. Do they have it? Jack comes back in time. Lion Blaze flips this up high against the corner. In the air, Kidsday, not on target. One more for Percy, wants to keep it close. M80 do not want to give a free touch to Gen.G on defense. Lion Blaze trying to wait for Percy, but he's out of boost. But M80 still pushing. Lion Blaze, a little feather, and Jack is up quickly for Chronic's touch.
Yeah, and they've kept that same momentum though, Jorby. M80, while they might have had an easier end of the previous game, they haven't let up, are not getting too comfortable. It looks like they're picking up right where they left off, but a double commit does not bode well for this defense, and Space given an ollie off the backboard, cleared out by Lion Blaze, but here comes the pressure. More and more suffocation from Gen.G.
Oh, good angle from Lion Blaze. Got underneath that ball, allowed him to put it safely to the corner. He had a couple of small pads, didn't leave the rotation, but now he's stranded. Jack got over him. Nolly wants to keep it close, but M80, they're starting to really figure out all those back passes that Gen.G love to grab. But now, a loose ball for Chronic. He wants to find Jack, but Jack is leaving the play. And where typically Gen.G are a hive mind, they are not linking up clearly on these passes. Kinsey now on the catch. Reset. Wanted the bump, but he's too far underneath.
That would have been ridiculous. A flip reset bump off the backboard. And this might be ridiculous from Abjack. Off the backboard himself, and a slower shot comes through because Kinsey, he didn't jump too early, but he had enough time to get in the middle of it, and now he's got to get the save, which he does find. It's still bouncing in front of the net, and finally, Abjack, after what feels like, I believe it was 8 shots now for this team, they get one.
It took a triple commit. Lion Blaze and Percy flying across the net. And he did a good job to recover and get back to the ball, but too little too late. He didn't even make contact. A big goal for Gen.G, but M80 kind of gave it to him. There's another demo. Here comes Percy. He's given leeway, and it's taken away. Oh, you get scared on every air dribble. Lion Blaze sees a gap. Kinsey sees a hole. Lion Blaze doesn't need the touch. Oh, Abjack recovers, barely saving it for Gen.G. But Percy stole the ball, and Nolly hopes for a clear, but Lion Blaze waits. He gets one dunk. Abjack all by himself again.
That ball was just rolling in front of the net. Lion Blaze didn't need the touch, but it would have been helpful, of course. Abjack able to keep his team alive and not in the lead, or excuse me, not at a deficit. But they've got so much to handle. All of these demos, all of this aggression. It's creating a stressful situation there. Chronic's getting bumped now. Space given to Lion Blaze, and it looks so much more disorganized from Gen.G.
Another midfield challenge. Gen.G slowly starting to grab field back. Big shot, but a bigger block from Percy. Now everyone's back on Gen.G. Lion Blaze has so much space. Gets it over one. Abjack gets the grab, but M80 so good at getting those quick clears. Oh, Gen.G just gave him one right back, and he couldn't make contact.
Oh, Nolly should have gotten a hit on that one. Painful whiff. Gonna want to have another stab at it. But either way, he's got himself back on the opposition and looking to develop as much as he can before he's forced to deal with more demos from M80. Back and forth we go. Not one team has held too much domination, too much pressure. Abjack might be able to set up Nolly. The ball is bouncing high and wide. Abjack still more space to work with, and they keep trying to build something off the backboard, but it's not giving.
Well, I think they had a hole. Lion Blaze, he picked his spot early against apparently Jack, and that left a hole opening in the net. But then the shot, like you said, there was nothing there. Jack with a quick pass. Nolly, a quick shot, he hit the bar again. There the hole is once more, and they can't find it.
It's open.
Deleted, but nobody could follow it up. Everybody was beyond the ball. Now Lion Blaze has to protect it. M80 let a chance get by them. Chronic hits the catch, just wants to protect this one. No mistakes, but the 50 from Percy. The pass from Kinsey. Percy denied by apparently Jack. Do we have an overtime on Neo Tokyo? We do.
Oh my goodness, Jorby. This is just so much action and everything we could have asked for out of this series. And just maybe we get a game 7. Gen.G still have the advantage. It's still match point. They can still send M80 away and out of the playoff bracket. And they might be able to do it with this jump of Percy. The pre-jump save keeps them out.
Worth a reminder that a win here puts Gen.G in San Diego. M80 trying to delay that a little longer and maybe make a bid themselves. Here's another pop. Jack can't get to it though. And it's choppy defensive push, but also choppy on offense. Percy making his
demo.
way downtown. Oh, he's back to Lion Blaze. The catch, but Jack saved, but a loose ball in front of the box. Gets it, blocked by Jack. Percy keeps the transition down at Gen.G. They get some of their boosts. Is it enough to get the clear here against M80? Chronic really trying to make him unreadable. Percy next up, but Gen.G, another clear into space. Lion Blaze shot. 2 commit, but Chronic puts it back out. Midfield, there's nothing there for Kinsey.
Wow.
Lion Blaze gets a demo on the backside. This leaves space for Percy. M80 continue to pepper the net, and 2 continue to commit for Gen.G. When will it be enough for M80? Kinsey slowing it down, and good idea. Leaves it open, 2 commit once more. 3 times in a row. 2 double commits for Gen.G. Here's Kinsey. They just keep throwing it right back. They're like trebuchets. Do they find their mark? Lion Blaze blocked by Chronic. Another demo. Like 4 or 5 demos on this push, and they still can't find the net.
I mean, M80, they're making waves. They're trying to give everything they've got at the net. Stealing boosts, going for demos. Everybody's rotation lingers forward. But just like that, it's turned around. We doubted Gen.G for a split second, and they quickly remind us why they're the best in this region.
You cannot doubt this, man. He is too bold. Chronic with a heater. And he melted any possibility
man.
of M80. Size of relief. Jack wipes what is no doubt a heaping pile of sweat underneath that flop of hair of his. Love you, Jack, and love the performance. Gen.G, man.
It was not the most comfortable win. I'm going to say that, but a win is a win. And so much respect for M80. Able to just keep us on the edge of our seats. And you're right, Jack. 7 saves. You're seeing this man on the defense stuck. It felt like they couldn't even break out. They couldn't buy a transition, Jorby. Oh my goodness, I totally could have seen that going the other way. And Matey had it right there for the take.
No, I thought this was a sweep. I thought it was over after game 3, dude.
No, Jorby.
Like it was like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. I'm like, okay, cool. Or it was like 4-4 one game. That was weird. But like everything else was just so tight. And I'm thinking like, yeah, M80, they're just going to struggle again. Yeah.